Hello
Is
and welcome
and
to. Yes, go ahead.
is and by the way, is this video?
Oh yeah,
Okay, awesome. Okay,
and it's
let me.
perfectly fine. You look
Okay,
fantastic. Okay, so let me
okay, good.
go. Hello and welcome to Profiles in Risk. This is your host Tony Cañas, switching to my radio voice, and today I have with me Lee Fogle, the founder of RecovX Health and Injury Claims Express. Hold on, no. It's RecovX Health, one company, and Injury Claims Express, the other company. So founder and CEO of the first one, founder and chairman of the second one. Lee, thank you for joining me today. How's it going?
Very well, thanks. Appreciate the opportunity to be with you today. It's warm down here in South Florida, and I'm taking this great opportunity to sit in the shade and relax and talk to you about where are you from? Where are you calling me from today, by the way?
Fantastic. Yeah. So it's really funny. I start the podcast this exact way every time by asking where you are and the weather.
Right.
I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. So it's
Okay.
hot. It's hot here too. It's rainy today, but probably rainy and hot. I have not been outside. I am heading outside in a little bit. So I am recording this episode, then recording another episode. So I'm pitching a double hitter tonight. And then I'm going to the Imagine Dragons concert, which I'm super excited about. Uh,
Excellent. That'll be fun.
it
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm usually not a live music person, but
Uh,
their music it reminds me a lot of Journey. Like it really pumps you up,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love it. So I am so
Yeah.
excited to
Yeah.
see. So it's really funny
Excellent.
because I'm not much of a live music person. I tend to not realize when concerts are coming, and basically a Facebook ad showed up on my Facebook yesterday, and I was like, "Really, tomorrow?" Uh, and
Why
yeah,
not? Yeah.
tickets were available. My girlfriend's out of town. I had nothing else to do. Do it.
Well, I'm glad. It's too bad the a Facebook ad didn't come up for Burning Man. You could have hopped on a
I
plane and
oh
go to Burning Man this week.
I've been wanting to do Burning Man for many years.
Yeah.
So Lee, for the audience, Lee has been in the insurance technology business for around as long as I've been alive.
Yeah.
And I've had some other great conversations with people who have been in insurance technology for a long time. So I am very excited to have you on. And the conversation, we had never chatted before, we had never met before, we weren't even connected on LinkedIn before. The conversation, as soon as we got on the Zoom call, started so quickly that I had to pause and be like, hold on, let's record, because we're starting to have a really good conversation. So Lee, we always give the guest the chance of giving the elevator pitch.
Yeah.
What is RecovX?
Okay. RecovX Health is a company I started after many years working for some fairly large companies. I left IBM a few years ago, and I went back to a design of a product that I had built back in 2001. And I sold that company to another company called Verisk, which is a publicly held company
Very
formerly by
familiar. Yeah, they own ISO.
yeah, but it was a product for injury claims, for evaluating and monetizing injury claims. And so RecovX Health was my belief that much more had to be done in the area of injury claims. And so RecovX recovery is the concept of helping folks who've been injured in an accident to recover, and to recover exponentially faster. And there's some ways that we envision doing that to help people to recover from their injuries, whether it's workers' comp, a workplace injury, or an auto injury, or slip and fall. You know, there are 3 million slip and fall and auto injuries, third-party auto claims in the U.S. every year, and there's 3 million workplace injuries in the U.S. every year. And it's a quagmire of manual activity, slow processing, and it's difficult to find a happy claimant anywhere among those 6 million people. All the claimants seem to be pissed off with the lawyers and with the insurance companies. And so, having built systems all my life and worked with all the major carriers, over my 35 plus 40 years of in the industry, I decided it was time to build something for the injured people, the claimants, that could also at the same time help the insurance carriers to reduce the severity of their injury claims, to reduce the cost, medical costs, which are a large component, and to improve the experience for injured people. And so that was the concept of injury of RecovX Health, the name of the parent company, and InjuryClaimsExpress is our premier product that we've built to do that, to affect those changes in the business.
So for the insurance nerds, the parent of Profiles in Risk, I won't say the parent company, but they're both the same tiny little LLC that is really just a hobby for myself and some friends. But Insurance Nerds was born to help young insurance professionals find their way. So I always like to kind of bring it down to their level for a little bit. So
Right.
For the new insurance professionals who have not worked an injury desk before,
Right.
this is one of those areas of insurance that has the beautiful characteristic of what is good for the claimant is good for the carrier, and it's good for the
Absolutely.
insured business also. What I mean by that is if you get injured at work, for example, but it could be also an auto injury or whatever. But let's say you get injured at work. So it's a great example. You get injured at work. It is in everybody's best interest to get you back to work as quickly as possible, right? Get you back to earning your full income, and stop costing the insurance company and ultimately the policyholders money. And it's good for you too to be back to work. You're making more money being back to work, right? And you're not developing a prescription drug addiction and right, a opioid addiction and all those problems. So it ultimately, the more that we can improve that time between injury and return to work, the better off society overall is. So
Exactly.
how does RecovX and InjuryClaimsExpress, how do they help us do this?
Okay, I'll give you an example. I'll give you a personal, real life example that actually was the impetus for me deciding to jump over to the other side and help the claimants. I had designed and have patents for the systems that are in place today that most of the major carriers use to evaluate the impact of pain and suffering and to assign a monetary amount of money to those general damages. Okay, and I designed and sold systems, built a company around that back in 2001 that we pretty much canvassed the world in terms of selling a system that would help insurance companies do that to pay their claims fairly to the claimants. And we did that in the UK, Ireland, and the US. Those systems are still in place today, helping insurance companies. But what happened to me in 2017 is my little dog Nemo, who's a fairly large Yorkshire Terrier. We were in the dog park and we got attacked by another dog. Another dog, a pit bull, bit him, and I tried to separate him, and I got bit a couple times in the process. Not a big deal, you know. I've been bit by other things worse than that. But the owner of the pit bull gave us their insurance information. Said, we'll cover the cost for your treatments, things like that. And then we said, okay, that's terrific. That was in say September. Took Nemo to the doctor. He got stitches and staples in his side. I was okay for a couple of days, but my hand really got big and swollen. And I said, better go to the doctor. I went to the doctor, and they needed to perform surgery on my hand. And long story short, it took about 2 months before I healed. I was completely healed, back to normal. Hands okay. Not a big deal to me. Medical costs were about $5,000 for the surgery for me and so forth. Pain and suffering wasn't significant, but you know, it was a pain in the ass kind of for me, pardon my expression, that I had to go to the doctors, go to surgery. Just it was a pain. And so it came time in December, my hand was healed, and I had filed my claim with the insurance company. They had said, keep your medical statements and we'll settle this claim, pay your medical bills when you've healed. So when time came to contact the insurance company, I couldn't get anybody to return my phone call. And, you know, I called them and left messages, and I said, well, this is rather troubling. And so, of course, in the United States today, you can't drive 1 mile down any freeway without seeing a sign for a billboard ad for a law firm that says, if you've been injured, we can get you more money for your claim. And while I've
Here
always what's
in
that?
Atlanta where I live,
Yeah,
I don't drive often because I don't have
right.
kids, and both me and my girlfriend work from home. But like, I swear, when I leave my apartment, the only thing I see on the highway is injury.
Exactly.
In fact, we have there's a national firm that has headquarters here in Atlanta, a national firm of lawyers, and
Right.
they're in front of their building has a massive statue of Atlas holding the world. Like, these people don't have small egos, and they don't have small budgets either.
That's right.
Anyway, continue.
There are 90,000 personal injury attorneys in the United States of America, and they spend close to $1 billion a year in advertising.
It's
And
disgusting.
yeah, it is. Well, so but in my case, the insurance company wasn't playing by the rules. They weren't very responsive to me. They never checked. Here's one of the things that troubled me too, is they never checked back on me. They never called me during my period of surgery recovery to say, how are you doing? Everything going along okay with you? They just pretty much ignored me. And so I on the day of early December, I had lots going on. I said, well, I'm not going to fight with these guys, trying to get in touch with them. So I did a quick Google search, and the company that popped to the top of the list was a law firm there in Tampa where I was living. And so I called those folks and said, I've got all my medical bills. I've got everything. Can you handle this claim for me? They said, yes, sure, we'll do it. I drove over to their office. I brought them everything they needed, the medical bills, everything about the claim and what I'd gone through. And they said, fine, we'll write a demand letter to the insurance company. We'll get this. I said, well, it's close to the end of the year. Insurance companies like to settle out claims by the end of the year. Why don't you just get this settled, get my costs paid for my medicals, and we'll be done with it. That sounded really good. To finish this long story, it's 7 months later. 7 months later, they finally settled a claim. Okay, and it was an exercise in frustration, futility, trying to get in touch with a law firm. And once you engage a law firm, you can't talk to the claim adjuster. They can't talk to you. They got to talk to your lawyer. And it was just amazingly frustrating because it wasn't a big claim. And so I wasn't on the radar. I wasn't lining up a paraplegic. I wasn't a big 6-figure verdict for the or 7-figure verdict for the insurance for the lawyer. So they didn't pay me a lot of attention. So again, 7 months took me 2 months to heal. Should have settled a claim at the end of that. It took 7 more months. And at the end of the day, they settled the claim for $15,000. Okay. So $15,000. First, you subtract 40% the claim that the lawyer charged to settle the claim, and that meant $6,000 came off the top. That left $9,000. $9,000 minus the $5,000 in medical expense left $4,000 for me. Well, I didn't really think I'd hit the lottery, and it wasn't that important. But I said, this equation is just backwards. It's just messed up.
Hold on. I'm bad at numbers, and I have ADHD, so I was distracted there.
Yeah.
So you got 4,000. The lawyer got how much?
6,000.
I thought
and the doctor got 5,000.
I thought the standard was the lawyer gets 30% of the settlement.
33% to 40%. In Florida, they charge it 40%. And I wasn't sweating the details. I just said, okay, 40% is what you charge. Fine, do it.
But the lawyer got more than you. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, they got more than me. And it took 7 months to do it. It took 7 months to do it. It was, and so at the end of the day, when they gave me that money, I said, this is bad. And I said, I can fix this problem. I really believe I can fix this problem. So I designed an app after that. And my son and I, he'd been out in California with me, living in Silicon Valley, working on some projects out there. And we designed an app called, first it was called My Fast Claim, then we changed it to InjuryClaimsExpress. But we designed an app so that injured claimants could log on, put in the information about their injury, and then file their claim directly with an insurance company so that they could forego the cost of an attorney. Here's a statistic for and I'll go slow since you'd like me to go slow on the math. Here's a statistic. Of those 3 million injury claims, third-party injury claims in the U.S. every year, 96% are very small low severity injury claims. Okay. Only 4% of those claims are complicated, high severity claims over $50,000 in value. That
Mm-hmm.
means that those 96%, they could be settled very quickly, very easily. They're simple, and they could be settled with a computer. They can be settled with a good app. And so we designed an app that would track the progress of the claimant throughout the medical process, the surgery or the therapy, throughout the entire process. Keep the claim rep up to date by giving them messages on the prognosis of the claimant recovery. Keep them updated on the medical bills. Provide a repository for all the medical information, and allow the claim adjuster to communicate back and forth with the claimant. And that's our original design and what we rolled out and introduced to the market with InjuryClaimsExpress. What we didn't anticipate is that nobody paid any attention to us, because there was $1 billion being spent by law firms telling them that they need to call Morgan and Morgan or whoever to in order to get their claims settled. And so we just underestimated the power of the plaintiff bar. And the second thing is the insurance companies, we were an unknown to them. So they were a little reluctant, because my product was designed on the basis of some algorithms, and we have a patent pending that tells the value of an injury claim based on medical injury severity. If you've got a broken right arm and a broken left ankle, there's a metric in there that's been proven. I designed and have patents in that process to value that claim. But the insurance companies felt threatened that we would inflate the value of the claim. So we struggled a bit with that. And that's then COVID kind of hit us, and we had to press the pause button last year with the product because of I got COVID and ended up with lung damage. And so we're relaunching the product, but we're also have decided that the best thing to do, if you can't beat them, join them. The law firms is we're opening the product up with a pivot to help to help the whole process between claimant, lawyer. If people are going to use lawyers and pay for lawyers, then what can we do to decrease the cost of that law firm involvement by providing an app that will alleviate the law firm of all the manual activities? See, it's a very manual process. It's the last bastion in the insurance ecosystem of just manual activity. That's why it takes so long. Moving documents around. There's 75 million documents that are paper documents moving around between 90,000 plaintiff attorneys, 3 million claimants, God knows how many insurance people, 15, 20,000 insurance people. And so that whole process is a quagmire of manual activity. Our product is, so we're designing that so that we can engage law firms, national law firms, to say, we'll provide an access for you, and we'll alleviate all this bottleneck of paperwork that you have to pay paralegals and office people to manually manage the medical bills and things. And we'll do that if you'll reduce the cost you charge a claimant. So rather than charging 33 to 40%, charge the claimant 20%. We'll alleviate the manual activity, give you the ability to process your claims faster. And for the insurance company, we're going to reduce the medical costs. And there are specific techniques that we've designed into the product to promote adherence to medical advice by the claimant and keep the claimant actively engaged in their own process of recovery. When you think of workers' comp, as you said, nobody can survive on workers' comp income. They've got to get back to work. Nobody can live off that small amount that comes with workers' comp. So the claimant has a vested interest in, and claimants want their money fast. They don't want it 9 to 12 months. In my case,
I did injury claims for Nationwide at a very low level. I did a MedPay PIP, first party MedPay PIP.
Got you.
And then my best friend at the time was doing bodily injury, third party claims. And neither of us were in litigation. We were both in like normal level claims. And if there's one thing I remember from those dark days of doing claims, it is how the moment a lawyer got involved, and they got involved in the dumbest claims, right? Yeah, there are times where a lawyer makes sense, and we're
Yes,
preaching to the choir because the listenership here is insurance people, right?
absolutely.
But
Yeah.
there are times when a lawyer makes sense, and that's fine. There are things where you're gonna have a hard time negotiating on a one-to-one basis, on a fair basis with an insurance company that has a million lawyers. I get that. But for a small claim, all you're doing is delaying because the lawyer's not going to touch it until it's about to expire.
Right.
They have no incentive to do it quickly, and they have bigger things on their plate.
Right.
Number two, yeah, the insurance company is going to spend more money, but you're probably not going to get more money, right? You were going to get
Right.
4,000 before, you got 4,000 either way, except the lawyer got 6.
Right. Exactly.
That's likely the end
Yeah.
result.
And it's 7 to 9 months for a claim to be settled with an attorney. And if I had had my app on on December 3rd, the day that I contacted the insurance company to try to settle the claim, and the day that I also hired the lawyer, I could have settled the claim that day. Okay, I could have had 2 months of healing time, and if I had used my app, rather than getting $4,000, I would have gotten $10,000 and paid the doctors $5,000 out of the top. So I'd have had 10,000. So I'd have had a net compensation of 2 times what it was with an attorney. Now, I'm not, like I say, I'm not trying to move the lawyers out of the equation. Of the 3 million claims in the U.S. today, half of them have a lawyer. At least half of them have a lawyer involved. And as I said, only 4% really require a lawyer. Okay, and that's based on the Insurance Research Council data on 70,000 claims studied over about 15 years. You know, the lawyers will get on average about 4% more. That you'll get about 4% more with a lawyer
But
than you will without a lawyer, and you're going to pay 33%.
Okay, so hold on. So do you end up getting 4% more, or the claim ends up getting settled for 4% more, and you lose 33% of that total?
You get a net 29% loss, because you're going to get the lawyer's going to get you 4% more for the total value of the claim settlement. But he's going to charge you 33%.
See, all the money that Geico, Progressive, Nationwide, State Farm, et cetera, spend on advertising, I would grab a third of it and spend it on that stat, putting that in every highway.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
my God.
Another approach that we've looked at is how can we can private label our portal for insurance carriers, so that. But here's the fact. Okay, here's an interesting fact. Now everybody touts Geico's got their app, the Gecko app. Progressive got their app. All of them provide an app. Okay, but that's for policyholders. Okay, when you present yourself to Progressive or Geico or Liberty Mutual, and you're a third-party claimant, who knows who your carrier is? Maybe you're with State Farm. You don't get an app. They don't give you an app. In fact, I would find you can't find any way to file your claim electronically on their website if you're a third-party claimant. It's hard to get in, and so you file your claim and you get no technology to support you. Okay, so one of our solutions is to propose to use the product ICE, or Injury Claims Express, private label it, put it up on the Progressive website, because it tracks the recovery process. It tracks the medical bills. They get real-time updates. So if things go awry with their treatment, and their bulging disc turns to a herniated disc and is going to require a $50,000 surgery, we alert the claim department to that. They normally won't know that until the lawyer decides to send the bills 6 months later. So they're reserved. We're going to help protect the reserves and ensure reserves are adequate on all their claims. So there's a lot of goodness to be done, and nobody's addressing this area. We still believe we've got a solution. We just got to find out how to get the market to embrace it, and that's the challenge. If this stuff were easy, everybody'd be out creating apps and making the world a better place, and they are. But it's a slow slog sometimes. So that's enough. I've spoken a lot about that.
No, that's fantastic. Podcast episodes are, in my opinion, generally better when the founder is passionate about what they do.
Right.
The worst ones for me to record are the ones usually when I'm talking to a technology side co-founder. Some of
Yeah.
them are very good. Some of them are very technical, and
Yeah.
I'm not an IT person, right? I have a degree in management
Right.
information systems, but I never worked in that side of the world. And there are some where I have to like spoon feed it out of them, and it's hard work. And I think it
Yeah.
creates a less engaging episode. So I will take somebody who I have to be like, okay, hold on, a hundred
Yeah. Well,
thousand
that's
dollars.
I'm passionate
Uh,
about what I do,
good,
and we believe in it. We really believe
good.
it's
So
a solution for the world.
so so
Yeah.
so uh normally I like to ask, first of all, what is the revenue model like? What is the pricing like? So if I run a carrier, let's say
Right.
a regional, a super regional kind of thing, and this sounds like the kind of thing that would be of interest to me. Uh,
Right.
Tell me a little more. How does it
So
integrate into my
so
systems, and how do I pay for it?
so the carrier doesn't pay anything for it. Okay. The original concept that when we were going a B2C model, going directly to the consumer or the claimant, was that they would pay 1% of the settlement value. Okay. That's as opposed to 33 to 40% for an attorney. We would charge 1% of the total settlement up to a maximum of $500. Okay. So a $15,000 claim would at the settlement, only at settlement, they don't pay anything in this claim settles, but the claimant would pay $150 for use of the application during that process, and we would take that revenue and book that revenue. We still stand by that as a good model for business to consumer. For carriers who want to use it, we would work out a more of a, if they wanted to use the product in a private label portal into their own claim department, we can work out a site license, that sort of thing. For attorneys, our model is going to be when we attract a claimant who goes to our site and puts in their information to understand the value of their claim. Okay, and that's the concept that we're pivoting to is what's my claim worth? Okay, and I'll tell you this: if you type in "what's my claim worth" today on "what's my injury claim worth" today on Google, you'll get 10 million hits back. Okay, and
I'm gonna guess the
I
first
would
two
challenge you
pages
to
are
find
lawyers.
if yeah you if you go to 1,000 of those, because you haven't, and it'll take you a couple months to go through 1,000, and you will not find one who will tell you the value of your claim. All they're going to do is scrape your information, get your name and phone number, and have a lawyer or a screening clerk from the law office call you back. They will not tell you what the value of the claim is. I'm going to tell people the value of the claim. We're creating a new website, and that's a free service to claimants. They put in their information. We'll give them the value of the claim, and if they would like help settling that claim with an attorney, we'll provide a list of attorneys in the network that are willing to do it for a discounted amount.
I love
Those
that.
attorneys will pay us $50 to get the claim. It'll cost the claimant nothing. It'll cost the carrier nothing. Okay, so that's a different model that we're going to, and hope to have a website up and launching that free service to claimants in the next 60 days.
That's awesome. I can't wait. Please do let me know the URL once you have it, and once it's
I will do
live,
that.
I'll make noise for
I
it.
bootstrapped this company. I believe in it. I've invested everything. It's all out of my pocket to build this company because I believe in it. And revenue is not some, I've worked along and good life, and revenue is not that important to me. As important to me as getting this product out, because it can help so many people and help the carriers, and it will help the attorneys. Believe it or not, the attorneys can process a lot more claims a lot faster with less administrative costs.
Uh, Absolutely amazing. How does what does the integration look like? So if I'm a carrier and I want to to bring your system on board, how does it integrate into my
Good.
Guidewire claims system or Duck Creek, or God
Excellent.
forbid my my home built 1980s system.
It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. What we've designed and in the app today is when a claimant comes on board and says, I'm going to file my claim. I want to file my claim with Progressive Insurance. Our system is designed to send the claimant needs to have they need to have the name of the claim rep who's assigned to them, that information, and the claim rep email. Once they put that in, our system sends a message out to that claim rep and says, here's a claimant who's going to use InjuryClaimsExpress to come direct to you without an attorney. And in order to communicate with them via our app, click on this link, which will take you to your adjuster's dashboard, claim adjuster dashboard, where you can see all the activity of the claimant. You can see all the medical bills. You can communicate with the claimant, and you can at the end of their recovery process, our system will produce a link to a PDF document, which is their entire package of the claim settlement with the recommended range of settlement damages that the claimant and then the claimant themselves will select. Our system may generate a range of damage that says your claim is valued at roughly $18,000 to $23,000, and the claimant then will need to pick a number that they're comfortable with. They can go above or below the range, or they can pick 22,000. And that is everything is done by simply sending emails to the adjuster's inbox, and then the adjuster has a HIPAA compliant, secure link back to our system that allows them to look at reports of all their claims in flight, that sort of thing. So it's zero integration or technology required. They can be up and running the moment they get the first link for a claim.
Amazing. Yeah, this sounds really, 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 really good. Thank you for your work on this.
Yeah, cool.
Very, 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 very exciting stuff. Will you guys be at InsurTech Connect, at Connected Claims Conference? Now that we're back onto the in-person conferences, where might we be able to run into your team? Anybody that wants to meet you guys?
The team's pretty lean. And it's a very small number of us. What we are is a group of folks that I've known for many, many years in the industry who, like, for example, my chief claims officer, Bill Cratch, is a 35-year claims executive with Liberty Mutual. I've got a few folks like that who are part of my team. And we don't have right now our travel plans. We don't have travel plans to be at any of the conferences through the end of this year. Next year, we intend to be at some of the conferences. What we hope to do is to generate a little bit of revenue in order to begin to afford to spend more money on conferences and things like that. But again, our best money is spent direct B2C, letting the claimants know, because the claimant is the best access into the carriers. If the claimant says, I want to use this app to settle my claim with you, the carrier should honor that intent from the claimant. Although carriers have shown a bit of a pushback on it, there's no legal reason why they shouldn't allow the claim. If the claimant decides they're going to submit their information to you in Word and you're Progressive Insurance, you shouldn't be able to tell them, we don't want a document sent in Word, nor should you be able to tell them you can't use InjuryClaimsExpress to report on the status of your claim. So that's our position. It's maybe it's arrogant, but I've worked with carriers a long time, and I know carriers can be really slow to move. Most major carriers today run their systems, Geico's billing system, Progressive's claims on systems I sold them. So I know those carriers have been doing this for a while, and I don't mind bruising a few egos to get our product in there. It's good for everybody. We're not we're not carnivores out here trying to take any advantage of anybody. It's about as good as free.
I love it. I love it. This is fantastic. It's been great having you on the show.
Thanks very much for having me.
Yeah, thank you. When it goes live, I'll tag you on LinkedIn. I'll tag the company on LinkedIn. So thank you very much for coming today.
I'll keep you up to date on it as we go live for the next phase. And thanks for all the info that you put out about us. And I appreciate what you're doing for the industry.
Thank
Much
you.
blessings to you.